Hey everybody, how we doing? Arthur Charles Smith with lifelong experience, and I am in the first full week of Mission 22's meditation challenge. And we're doing this meditation challenge for the 22 veterans every day that commit suicide. Not exactly 22 veterans, but approximately 22 veterans a day that commit suicide due to TBI, PTSD, bringing the war home with them. They go out, they risk their lives for us, for the less fortunate, and they they bring what they went through home with them, and it's too much. I mean, I served in the Army Infantry, and although I didn't go to war, I was in a tank explosion. I was in Gitmo, Cuba for 6 months, where I seen riot control, and I seen a lot of people that lost their loved ones across the seas. They were trying to get over to the U.S. from Cuba to here, or from Haiti to here, and they lost their They lost their loved ones. I know knew a kid that lost his whole family. The list goes on and on. I knew a guy that got decapitated in a an Abram when he was just going outside of his Abram to have a cigarette. That all happened in training. So even being in the army itself, even being in the armed forces itself, and not going over to war, you bring stuff home with you. But these people have they've taken their lives, and all we can do for them now is make sure that the next one has a fighting chance. So I thought that I would talk a little bit more about my suicide attempt, go a little deeper into it. Um, I'm going to call this video Life After Suicide because I think that a lot of people need to know that you can have a life after a traumatic event and after dealing with such a traumatic event and wanting to take your own life. But since I was 6 years old, I've had to deal with death. I've had to deal with bullying. I've had to deal with the tank explosion that I was in. I have TBI, I have PTSD, I have addiction, long-term recovery from addiction in 1993, and my trauma goes on and on and on and on. And I was actually asked one time, like, shouldn't you be insane for going through what I've went through? And all I could reply to is, who says I'm not? Maybe I am. I don't know. Not quite sure I would be able to tell you if I was. But show me a normal person and I'll show you someone that you don't know that well yet, as the saying goes. So anyway, my suicide attempt, after losing my mother, after losing my father, after losing my grandfather and my uncle um, a month apart in 2000, I really got into a deep, dark depression. And I started, like I said last week, I started cutting on myself. I started just, I'm surprised I didn't go back into my drug addiction of drinking and cocaine, crack, because I just did anything I could to escape the feeling that I felt. But I, I did that, and then I figured, why not just end my life? Because I already begged God to take my life when my uncle was sick. Take mine instead of his, because my life was worth nothing at the time. And his life, he had kids, he had a wife, he had everything going for him. So why not? You know, but God has his plans, and we never know what they are. We might not understand what they are, but he has them. So at the end, I, like I said, I wrote the words "F you world" on my arm with a razor. Took a bottle of sleeping pills, and I ended it. I thought I ended it, but I luckily a couple of my friends found me and called the paramedics, and they got me the help I needed. Ended up in uh, Brockton, Massachusetts VA mental facility, and then I went to a veteran shelter, which was full at the time. So then I went to the streets of Boston for a while until I could find a shelter that I could stay in until I could go back into a veterans facility. Find a veterans facility that would take me. And then I had to start my life all over again. But I've had an opportunity where a lot of veterans don't have. A lot of veterans didn't have a friend to catch them when they fell. A lot of friends didn't have someone to call the paramedics. 22 veterans a day don't have a friend to call the paramedics. That's why we're doing what we're doing. And it can't be just these minutes of meditation. It's got to be every single day, every minute of every day. We need to help people that need the help, because if we don't, it's like the old saying goes, if you're able to help someone and you don't, you're no better than the person hurting the other person. And I'll end this with this: life after suicide. You can see right there. That's life after suicide right there. Right there, you can't see it, but I'll put that on the end. My son and his sister. Life after suicide. I'm buying a house this year. Life after suicide. All this. Oh, here's a picture of my kids right here. Life after suicide. Because, if I did do what I did and I succeeded, this little boy wouldn't exist. And I hate to use him as a poster child, but it's true. He wouldn't be here if I succeeded. So if you're ever feeling down, feeling like you're wanting to give up, feeling like you're wanting to just end it, Think of what could be after this feeling goes away. And it will. It will go away. This feeling of emptiness, this feeling of doubt, this feeling of just wanting it over. I gotta fix this chair. But this feeling of wanting to get this over will go away, and you'll feel better. I know so many of my friends that have killed themselves that I wish I could have told. I wish I could have talked to. I wish I could have known that what they were doing. But they didn't talk to me. They didn't talk to anybody, because the ones that are really, a lot of the times, the ones that are really serious about it, they won't talk to you. They'll just go and do it. But if you want to do it, if you want to end your life, I hope you see this video before you do. Everybody stay safe out there, and have a great 2022. Peace.